Okay, for today's task, you are asked to ideate, right? Not the entire product, but however, you're asked to ideate only part of the product, the handle. All right, the handle. You're asked to ideate three designs for the handle using shape borrowing first. Then later on, ideate different types of handles. Now, you are given three reference, right? Three reference. Now, let me give you an example. If this is a box that you have built, right, storage box for people to carry things around, you want people to carry this around with ease. Now, one way to do it, of course, is to add a handle, right? There are different types of handle. So let us start with a simple type, right? Perhaps I will draw a crate down here, right? Don't draw it too dark. This is very dark, right? For you, you don't draw it too dark. I draw it dark so that you can see. Now I will do a simple one. I do this. Maybe down here. Okay, a big circle and then come down. Oops. Right. For example, this one. Then this is a simple shape. You can think of different shapes, right? Then I will convert this to 3D. Remember, the thickness must be, I must be mindful. This is the reference orientation, so I'll be mindful. The thickness I will follow. Remember how to, right? Every point down here until such a point where you have no more, right? When you go along the orientation, the thickness orientation, right, you will be hidden, right? For example, down here all hidden, so no more already. So I have gotten hold of drawn a bracket down here. Now I will, in order for you to hold a handle, you will need another piece down here, right? I will draw another piece down here. Roughly the same height, right? I need the same height, right? Something like that, same height. Then I will draw about the same shape. Something like that, and curve down. Add a little bit of thickness. Right. Add a little bit of thickness here. Then I will add about out here. Okay. Right. This one for people to carry. Right. So if I have another set of these down here, so I have two sides I can carry it this way. So this is the first task today. Now what I want you to do is to ideate with different shapes and see how it goes. Right. Ideate with different shapes. I have given you some examples down here that you can use as reference. Now let me show you one. That you, if you have something that you like, some shapes that you like, you think you can make a nice handle out of it, right? How to convert from a 2D to a 3D. Or you don't have to follow this, you can get this from the internet. All right. Now I will try to do this, right? Use a dolphin. I try to use a dolphin. Convert a dolphin 2D to 3D and then make it a handle. The way I do it is this. Now in your assignment, I do not want you do not need to draw a very big box. What I want to see is a bigger handle, right? One piece of A4 paper. This is A4. You can draw it on A3, right? Draw it on A3. A3 paper, don't draw more than 3 or 4, right? Don't draw. This is for example, this is A4 paper. You see, I want the handle to be so big. I don't want it to be very small, because if you draw the box together, then the handle become very small. I want you to focus only on the handle. All right. I want to see the details of the handle, so draw a bigger one. Now, so let me start. You have a 2D shape. You want to convert to a 3D form. Now, as I always tell you, you have to start with drawing this isometric, something like a crate like that, right? Right. I'm going to transform this thing onto the isometric angle. Now, how to transform? It may not be so simple because this is a lot of curve. So I will divide I will divide it roughly into four equal parts, horizontally and vertically. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontally, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, I divide into two first, divide into two, and then divide further. So I have four equal parts horizontally, and four equal parts vertically. All right, that's the first. That's the first thing I do. Secondly, I will draw this crate. I will draw two crates. One down here and then one down here. Now to save time, I have do something. Right, I already drawn one down here. Now this one, same thing. I will separate this into four equal parts. So you should see 16 squares down here, 16 squares down here. Now, this point down here will then correspond to this point. All right, this point down here will then correspond to this point. Right, so what I will do is I will try to locate the points, certain points, and then I will join them together. All right, I will locate certain points down here. I locate a point down here. This point will be roughly this point, right? See, if this point is here, this point will be roughly this point because it's along the same line. This point down here is one line, two lines, and then out a bit. So one square, two square, and then out a bit. Okay, so then I will locate this one. Where is this? After the first line from the right, after the first line from the right slightly, and then roughly half the height of the first square. Right, after the first line, a little bit out, and then this is the first square, right? The height of the square is, the height of square is here, so it's roughly half, so somewhere here, right? Then I will locate this point. This point is where? Roughly the intersection there. Roughly the intersection. The intersection is here. It did not really touch the intersection if you look carefully, right? Then I know that the curve should, this line is here, the curve should roughly touch the line, right? Maybe overshoot a little bit. So I will trace further. All right, trace further. Down here, I track down here. Okay, there is this point down here, roughly down here. So I go around tracking all this, right? Don't have to track every single point. About you track until you are comfortable, roughly so many points, then I will join them out, right? I try to join them out. And anyway, this is ideation. Do not need to okay, the eye is somewhere here, just below the first cross down here. So I okay, let me draw a curve. Now after which you darken, right? Darker than your line, you need to darken such that it is darker than your crate, right? And all the guiding lines. Right, something like that. Right. Now you have to draw another one down here. Now how to this one this crate down here has to, okay, see, this one roughly the reference line is down here, reference line is down here, so this line need to be like that. How high? As high as this, roughly down here, right? Then this crate has to be as high as this, right? About the same size, right? Roughly the same size. Then then you darken. what is more important is the outline. There is a fin down here, right? From here, go down, come until here. Right? Now, whether you draw this or not, I'm going to forgo this thing, right? I'm not going to draw this thing down here. So, once I've gotten this thing onto the isometric angle, right? Isometric angle. Now, the next thing that I will do is, of course, I will add thickness, as all of you know, right? You know well that you have to add thickness. How to add thickness? Now, if you are not very well versed in adding the thickness, now I have told you before. Take a ruler, right? Put it along the reference line because all your thickness have to be in this direction. So you move out here, all right? You shift it, right? For example, shift. I take 6 as a reference. Right? Can you see this point? I take 6 as reference. Now from every point, let me say 0.5 cm, 0.5 cm, 0.5 cm, that means 5 mm. Now as I shift as I shift my ruler, I make sure that I maintain this angle. Alright, I make sure that I maintain this angle, and at the same time I mark out. I mark out where the 0.5 should be. Right. Okay. I'll do a shortcut because we have done this before. Right. Shift this thing along. Right. So roughly like that. Now, if you have done this in enough time, you should know that the thing should look something like that. Right. It should look something like that. Right. It should look something like that. Then same thing for this. This thing should be like that. Okay, we have done one piece. Now you go right along and you do the second piece. Right, add thickness to the second piece. Right. Right, add thickness to the second piece already. Okay, once you are done, right, then now we need a bar in between, because this one you know that it is fixed on top of this tool is fixed on top of the box. Now, for example, you imagine this is the top of the box. Alright, this is the top surface of the box. Right. This thing is the top surface of the box. Alright, so now we are doing this. So I will think this is a good place to put the bar. Right, now the bar, when I put when I draw the bar, I will also draw right parallel to take reference from this reference line, parallel to the bar. Parallel or not? Alright, parallel. Now if I draw from here, it should end up somewhere here, right? It should end up somewhere here, but then I will stop down here, right? Basically the bar should be somewhere here, but then I will stop somewhere here, because whatever is right down here, right, is blocked. Right, the bar is actually down here. Alright, so I now have a handle. Now one more thing to take note, can you also, alright, you see, cut some contours down here. Why do you want to cut some contours down here? Right, some contours down here so that it is more comfortable for people to hold. Right, so that it is more comfortable for people to hold. Alright. Okay. So we've got one handle down here. Now you can try it on other shapes. Alright. Borrow the shape of other animals, or you can borrow the shape of anything that you can find on the internet, or anything on your own. Alright, so it should look something like that. If you fix, then I will have a dolphin down here. Right, I will have a dolphin down here. I have another two dolphin down here carrying this. Alright, try it and see how it goes. Alright, thank you.